Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Taste Tour's back.
Yeah.
Cutting all that out.
Yeah, not
Taste
having
Tour's
that.
back. Oh, I gotta rip my pants. My balls are out a little.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna hold my
Too
hand.
bad they can't see that.
Well, I want to put a little.
Oh, put a blur
over it.
Okay.
It's true.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna look, so.
It's not that big. Don't worry. They're old pants.
You won't be able to see
The
it.
tour has returned. We know that you're glad to be back. This is
It's
the
not that big, don't worry.
That's.
unfortunate.
Alright.
The Canadian Mist, Maple liqueur blended with Canadian Mist, blended Canadian whiskey. That's
Well,
literally
there's
what
a
it
lot
says here.
Right on.
35% alcohol by volume.
Maple.
A light but indulgent taste of maple, salted caramel, and toasted oak that finishes easy with the flavor of rich molasses.
That's good.
Bottled by Brown Forman Beverages, Louisville, Kentucky.
Right on. So this is 35% like the Jim Beam.
Correct.
Right.
The bean.
The Beam. I usually do like Canadian blends of whiskey.
Me too. And Canadian Mist for cheap shit is, you know,
It's not maple, it's not maple.
pretty good. It's lighter than both the other ones.
Very smooth.
Very smooth.
Very smooth.
You taste more whiskey than the,
Then the
bean.
Yep.
You taste less whiskey than the other one, but you still do taste whiskey. That's true.
Yeah. More.
It's
It's good.
it is good. It's all hard because
this is sort of middle of the road. This is
It is.
It's the middle of the two. Then.
Yeah.
it's really hard because anything you add maple syrup into, particularly when it has a slightly richer flavor like whiskey, maple syrup is just ridiculously good. And so when you add something like that to something like this, unless you just really hate the flavor of whiskey, it all tastes a little different, but all pretty much really good. So that's what's hard about this one is that I feel like now going back, my ratings are not maybe what they should have been, because if I had to pick one of the three of them, I think I'd pick Bird Dog. But that's because I like the flavor of whiskey. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that I rated it lower than the Jim Beam.
A half percentage.
Yes.
So that's why I don't know. Maybe I'm the worst reviewer in the freaking world because of this. But it's
You're up
like,
there.
because with this, now I'm like thinking, okay, if I give it an 8,
Doesn't say anything.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't say a thing. And
I see your predicament.
the only thing I can say about this is that you do taste whiskey, but it tastes much less like whiskey than just straight freaking maple syrup, which is kind of what the Jim
like
Beam
the
was.
other things, even though it is the same thing in the sense of it's maple whiskey, they're still all different beasts.
Mhm.
They're all different beasts because this is a Canadian blended whiskey.
And you can tell it's Canadian Mist in the whiskey. You can tell. I mean, it's totally Canadian whiskey because of that. The very specific flavor that Canadian whiskey
for
has.
me, I'll start it off. I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I think it's really good. I would choose it last, generally speaking, amongst the three.
Of the three that we just had,
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it an 8. But I agree with you. That's what's hard about these is that you could actually give one the same rating that you almost would prefer to have,
Yeah.
but you can't give it lesser of a
Right.
rating just because it's
It's
tough.
you try to do the perspective from what it does and what it's trying to do,
Right.
and what it'll do for the person that likes that thing.
Exactly. And I think this does all of that, but I just think that for me personally, I would prefer the Bird Dog one, which I actually didn't give the highest rating, and I just don't. This stuff is hard. This stuff is hard. It's tricky.
Trick.
Jerry?
Chicka, what you got?
7.5. I put it the same as the Bird Dog because you taste the whiskey here. Not a huge whiskey fan.
What would you rather have? What would you rather pick this one?
Well, I mean, I'd rather the Beam, definitely. But I think well, Beam is my favorite
What do you
by
got?
far.
Okay.
Of this and the Bird Dog, I would say I'd rather this just because the Bird Dog was stronger in whiskey. Anywho.
Okay, so
Alright, we got the 8.0, the 8.0, the 7.
No,
No, I gave
7.5.
7.5.
7.5, 8.0.
Yeah.
Check out the key,
Maple
the
Mist.
Maple Mist Maple Liquor Whiskey.
Thing.
Today's store will be
We'll be
back.
back.
Hopefully a little more professional the next time around.
Nah, forget that.
Now we won't
That's
be.
not-
No.
Join us again, please. Thank you.